Hello everyone. Welcome for next session on peptic ulcer. I am Mrs. Shagufta Zubair Pathan, lecturer at KCT's Krishna College of Pharmacy. Welcomes you all for today's session on peptic ulcer. Peptic ulcer, we know that there are two types of peptic ulcer, duodenal ulcer and peptic ulcer, which are very common in men and women. Generally, the duodenal and gastric ulcer ratio is 17:1 and its prevalence may increase with age. So it is necessity to understand about the peptic ulcer and to know about the peptic ulcer. Learning outcomes of today's session. After completion of this topic, learners will be able to define peptic ulcer, describe pathophysiology of peptic ulcer, mention manifestations of disease. In today's session, we will discuss about peptic ulcer, difference between peptic ulcer and duodenal ulcer, various causes of peptic ulcer, signs and symptoms, pathophysiology of disease. So what is peptic ulcer? Peptic ulcer, it is nothing but these are the sores in the lining of esophagus, stomach or duodenum. Peptic means stomach and ulcer means store or break in membrane of that entire gastric tract. Generally, this entire gastric tract, that wall is made up of or that wall is lined with mucosal membrane, and if there is one or more sores or breaks in that mucosal membrane, then it is called as ulceration. So what is the difference between peptic ulcer and duodenal ulcer? If the sore occurs or develops in the lining of your stomach or the first part of your small intestine, then it is called as ulceration. If the ulcer is in your stomach, then it is called as gastric ulcer, and if the ulcer is in your duodenum, then it is called as duodenal ulcer. If the ulcer is in your esophagus, then it is called as esophageal ulcer. Then what are the common causes of the disease? Generally, the peptic ulcer formation, it is related to the Helicobacter pylori bacteria. Okay, it is in the stomach, and sometimes due to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medication, that is called as NSAID. Okay, about 50% of patients develops peptic ulcer due to this reason, that they consume a lot non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and remaining 50% they have miscellaneous causes like drugs, lifestyle changes, smoking habits, drinking habits, or physiological stress. Sometimes genetic factors are also responsible. So likewise, you can see in this image the various factors: Helicobacter pylori infection, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, alcoholic beverages, family history, excess stress, low levels of melatonin, and hypercalcemia. These are the causes. You can see in this image how the ulcer appears. If it is in duodenum, then it is called as duodenal ulcer. If it is in stomach, then it is called as gastric ulcer. And if it is in esophagus, then it is called as esophageal ulcer. Then what are the signs and symptoms of peptic ulcer? The main symptom of peptic ulcer or duodenal ulcer is upper abdominal pain. That pain can be dull or sharp or burning. Okay, there are chances of vomiting sensations or poor appetite, nausea is there. Okay, so these are the symptoms. But prime symptoms are acid reflux, heartburn, and feeling fullness in stomach. These are the symptoms of peptic ulcer. Pain in stomach, indigestion, loss of appetite, nausea sensations, bloating sensation, heartburn, stool discoloration, blood in vomit. There is a steady burning pain in the mid-epigastrium which is relieved by ingestion of food or antacid in ulcer. Duodenal ulcer pain may awaken in the patient at night, whereas gastric pain generally does not occur at night. Patient may show iron deficiency anemia. Complications of peptic ulcer include peritonitis, sepsis, pancreatitis, also include bleeding, perforations, blockage to the passage of food due to gastric obstruction from the swelling or scarring that surrounds the ulcers. Upper abdominal pain is common symptom. Pain areas in the chest or upper abdomen. Pain type can be dull or sharp, gastrointestinal, belching, heartburn, indigestion, nausea, passing excessive amount of gases or vomiting. Whole body symptoms like fatigue, feeling fullness or loss of appetite, abdominal discomfort is there. Treatment consists of antacids and treatment usually includes medication to decrease stomach acid production. If it is caused by bacteria, antibiotics may be recommended. Antacids, it acts by counteracting the effect of stomach acid. It neutralizes the production of produced stomach acid. Then what is the pathophysiology? Helicobacter pylori infection may lead to the development of gastritis, in which stomach lining becomes inflamed. So infection with Helicobacter pylori, it is very common. And chronic use also. Second, these bacteria are carried through feces and saliva and easily spread among people who live in unsanitary conditions. Any condition which decreases the quantity or quality of normal protective mucous barrier leads to peptic ulcer. Second cause, as we have seen, that is the chronic use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications or NSAIDs, that includes the aspirin, etc. Generally, these medicines are used for the treatment of arthritis or other painful inflammatory conditions in the body. Aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen, etc. These are the examples. Prostaglandin are the substances which are produced in the body, which are very important in helping the lining of esophagus, stomach and duodenum to resist damage by the acidic digestive juices of stomach. NSAID causes ulcers by interfering with the production of prostaglandins in the stomach. Next, long-term use of aspirin and anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen may damage the lining of stomach. Peptic ulcer increases due to smoking, alcohol and caffeine consumption. So cigarette smoking, it is not only the causes of ulcer, but it also increases the risk of complication from ulcers as it may cause bleeding, obstruction or perforation on wall. So cigarette smoking, it is also a leading cause of failure of treatment of ulcers. Contrary to popular beliefs that alcohol, coffee, colas, spicy food, caffeine consumption, it has actually no proven role in ulcer formation, but generally this should be avoided. Half the patients with genetic factors also lead to duodenal ulcer. Half the patients with duodenal ulcer show gastric hypersecretion. It is due to increased parietal cell mass, excessive gastrin release during meals, and high sensitivity to gastrin. Treatment: antibiotic medications to kill Helicobacter pylori, medications that block acid production and promote healing, medications to reduce acid production, antacids that neutralize stomach acid, and medications that protect the lining of your stomach and small intestine. These are the kinds of medicines that is to be prescribed for a person suffering from peptic ulcer. These are the food which should be used but in limited amount, like coffee, chocolate, spicy food, alcohol, acidic food such as citrus or tomatoes and caffeine. Generally, this peptic ulcer is can be diagnosed by barium upper gastrointestinal X-ray method, upper gastrointestinal endoscopy, but the most relevant method is upper gastrointestinal endoscopy method. In this way, here we conclude the session is over. If you have any query or suggestions, you can contact me on srb.tkcp@gmail.com. Thank you.